Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that.
Unless I kill you, but...
So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions.
The gods think my actions can prove their point about mortal society?
Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos.
Tell me about this enlightened society you once wanted.
It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Aora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic.
Why did you forget? Doesn't social engineering plan seem counterintuitive?
You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desired to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow.
Okay.
I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order.
How would you have recognized the ideal society?
A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong.
Why did the other gods tolerate your opposition?
Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority.
Andra dropped a moon on Aora. What do you call that?
Impulsive. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer.
What happens if someone proves you wrong?
If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess.
So, you're right, even when you're wrong. Got it.
Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be... You have learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth.
Has your opinion of mortals changed at all?
Nothing you've done has tarnished it utterly beyond repair. You may congratulate yourself on that much, at least.
I want to talk about the wheel in your Rise to Godhood.
The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle.
How exactly does the wheel function?
Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point. The wheel has but one material component in all of Aora. Something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow.
The reincarnation existed before you, so why not just leave it alone?
Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations. We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved. Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection.
Back to my other questions.
Speak, Watcher.
Why did you choose to confide in me?
Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Aora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong. To demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future.
You speak as if we don't have a chance.
You speak as if you do. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Wotica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze.
Huh. What was it going? Fought a deadlight, that was it. Yeah. I could have done with another boatman. Another crewman, but you know what? Oh well. Away we go. 1 minute, what's this? in water. Cavern of Tuk the Howling Gorge. Listen carefully. The sound resolves into a rhythmic chittering and slowly cycling, raising and falling. It sounds like a chorus of voices in human voices. Continue cautiously forward. Be careful in the desert canyon, keeping to the shade cast by tall surrounding stones. Ahead of you, a group of Serpis chants, hopping back and forth on skinny legs, shaking their spears. Nested between them rises a black leathery form of a drake. The dragon's wings rise above as it tears the corpse of a boar at its feet. Continue watching. With a mighty twist of its muscular neck, the drake tears the boar in half. It rises up on its legs, lifting its head and swallows the back half of the boar whole. A lump of animal visibly charges down the reptile's throat. You move quietly from the stone, entering the canyon without drawing the creature's attention. Nice.
See you sneaky bastard.
I forgot what we're doing here. Oh well. Attack! Wow, okay, dude.
That's not very helpful.
There we go. Take all that. And just walk up here. That was easy. More easy than what I thought it'd be, anyway. Just killed a drake. Nice! Next up is to go across here. What else we got? Broken Spear Pass, Ruined Tower, and a camp. Hard tack. Let's go in here first. Cavern of Tuk. Go into the cave.
Enemies ahead. Let's go. This is futile.
Jesus Christ, how much health does this thing have?
side are you on?
Grab all these, grab all these, grab all these,
Right.
grab those. Grab those. The Zebra Gallia tells you that you must have been an important figure in the tribe, perhaps a high priest or a mother. But this condition makes clear that those days are long past. What happened to you? There's nothing. Break off the cage. You tear the bars clean out of their frame. Scrambles to get out of your reach. When you make no move to capture it, it stares between you and the open cage door. Blinking rapidly, it tenses, then bursts out of the door.
Worth a look.
Nice. Why are you following me? But slowly and blinks. It narrows its eyes, like it can't quite figure out what you mean. You notice back at the cage. You freed it from, then stares at you expectantly. Do you always follow your leader around? Clings tightly to your leg and refuses to let go. You want to come on me? It stares up at you, unblinking and finally releases you. When you make no move to chase it away, it hops up and down excitedly.
I've got.
Let's go then. Oh, island name. We should call it Twiggy. We'll get past the broken spear first. Feel to your mother sharp rocks cling to your boots, staring out at the dunes, and looks up at you, her eyes wide with fright. She fears this place. An amount of sand whips itself into a small storm, rages across the dunes, and it outbursts awakens the mound of sand beside it. Together they form the desert as swelling clouds bear down upon you en masse. Okay, that's not good news for me. It uses a ranged weapon that with bullets. You know, cloud. Clouds aren't fun. And dragons. Neither are dragons, strangely enough.
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Got it.
Reloading and firing, and reloading and firing. There we go. That seemed dead. I survived! Yay!
Will do.
Let's loot everything.
Sure. Found something.
Healing hand. That was a weird place. I would never find one of them again. To this ruined tower then, I guess. Search it. What did we actually find? I didn't read any of that. For pyrite, 2 portions of deafness, a grimoire of disruption, 3 portions of deafness, and 3 Juana Mehe. $18 daily wages, Jesus Christ. Now back to what I was originally doing. And that was going to this place down here if I remember rightly. That was somewhere in this direction anyway. What's this? Burial site? What's that channel? Travel to the northwest to discover a broad channel separating you from the flat expanse of a sandy islet. A wooden bridge spans the waterway, easily wide enough for it to accommodate cart and horse. A crowd throngs the bridge and elect menage of clean-coated villains. Our Mao is in bright and colourful robes, and even an old Orlan. Down the hill, by the water's edge, a small cluster of Aoma have gathered. What the bridge? A quiet murmur of conversation rises as you approach, entirely overwhelming the susurrus of the sea. And all in his deep brown fur, a close match to the boards beneath your feet, approaches you and doffs a wide-brimmed hat as he bows. Greeting, stranger, come to the race. These people are here to watch a race? You ain't from around here, are you? The red-turned accent suggests he isn't either. It's a local tradition, a swim race up the Otter Channel after a big storm. When the current's at its strongest, winner gets a... He scratches the back of his head. Some kind of gigao, or some such. Braggins rights too. Can I participate in the race? So not really sure. Can't say it's up to me either. Either way, you'd want to talk to them down the riverside. Approach your arm on near the river. Grin sharp, triangular peeking beneath his lips, an Owlman but no Deadfire native, then wants you to rediscover your culture. Examine the competitors. The largest than the bald woman, all muscles, she'd been menacing in a fight, but what in the water, the bolt might slow her down. I'd like to join the race. I'm ready. I have to get naked for this? He shrugs the faintest hint of a grin. We require nothing. Okay. You kick against a powerful current, expertly reaching one hand after another and pull yourself through the water, parting it like a knife, others fall behind. One of the Juana you notice struggles to remain in the park. He's not struggling to stay alive, stay above, he's just desperate to carry his boat down the channel. Kill up into shore. You wrap around him. Sure, the rocket. Sure, a help put boat behind you. The large bald woman pulls ahead and reaches your first. The crowd roars as she walks into the shop as fist raised victorious. The younger swimmer squeezes around many thanks Akira, moderate positive reputation gained with Juana. The crowd on the bridge thins and the commotion dies down. Your journey continues. What's that island? Head this way now. Pretty sure it was this way.